Well, I'll be honest, I don't know if I've seen such a like prehistoric fishy, like a dinosaur fish style knife in my life. Today we're looking here at the Cold Steel Grik. This knife is a lightweight, compact AUS 8 pocket knife that has some very unique new features that Cold Steel has never really done before. Mainly a integrated body clip for it. It's kind of supposed to be part of the handle scale. We'll discuss that today. Very unique. Haven't really ever seen that on any pocket knife that I've tested out before. And going to more of like a thumb stud, thumb hole ramp. It's very interesting. So there's some really interesting, not only just design choices to make it look very, you know, like reptilian, prehistoric, but also just some features that I haven't seen on other pocket knives, particularly from Cold Steel. So I'm really excited just to show you this lightweight EDC that they're producing at a good budget price, the pros, the cons, and what this has to offer. So let's go ahead and jump to it and see what this little guy can do, and if it's a good, different twist on a pocket knife for you, or if it's just a little too prehistoric for your taste. We'll discuss that in this video. So there you go, guys. You've seen the action. Very cool blade shape. It's just different, and I like it a lot. There's just a lot of differences that I haven't seen from Cold Steel, and I just haven't seen on the market, honestly, with the overall design of this knife. Now, what we are looking at here is from the handle to the tip, 3 inches, and we're looking at 2.75 actual cutting edge. On that spear point design, we're looking at a saber grind, which is pretty cool. Cold Steel is known more for hollow grind, so it was nice to see a saber grind. Just means extra strength, great relief edge, razor sharp, gonna do a fantastic job. Really cool swedge up here with that kind of comes in and then flares back out to a super strong tip. You guys are gonna get a great strength level on this knife. Cool, just little notch cut in there. There are some 90-degree angles, so this could definitely throw a spark if you wanted to throw your fire steel right in there. Bam, that you could launch some sparks with that if you want to use this as an outdoor knife. I did use this in a lot of outdoor tasks that I normally don't do with pocket knives, and the knife performed very well. Very good, just overall performer, regardless if it's, you know, more for stabbing, prying, or slicing and cutting. It is a little bit on the thick side at all the way back here at the stock being 0.14. I would have liked to see that more like 0.12, 12 is a little more reasonable, but it wasn't something that I was like, wow, this is not a good slicer. Because of the relief edge and just the way they ground it in, it still gets a lot of cutting done, and particularly even like woods carving and stuff like that, better than most full flat grinds because of the saber. So I think this would actually be a great outdoor knife, you know, to carry in the woods, you know, doing a little bit more like woods stuff if you had to with a pocket knife. I think this would be a great option. So we'll hit deployment. There are some interesting features, and it's just different, and I like different. You know, after a while, I get tired of just, you know, satin blade, you know, G10 handle, blah, blah, blah. It just gets really boring. I mean, Kershaw does that with tons of their knives. Spyderco's budget end tends to be that way. So to see different design features coming out of different companies at a budget price is just fun. And for some of you, you're gonna be like, dude, this is a really cool, unique design, and I dig it. And I like that they decided to go with a different style of deployment. This is held in with a really tiny little star driver in there. This is a polymer thumb, not hole, not thumb stud really. You know, it's high traction there, ambidextrous, and I can flip that guy open. It's not abrasive. It works really well. I actually really like it a lot. The way the knife is designed, I can kick back that lock back design, hits my finger without nicking my finger, and then I can close it one-handed. So it is a triad locking system, so super strong lock back design. You know, some of the strongest on the market, honestly. So you are going to definitely have to flick your finger really hard to get it to deploy. You know, give it a good wrist flick, but it will come out every time. And that thumb ramp just works really well to catch your thumb when you are deploying the knife and give you the action that you want, again, ambidextrous, which is really cool. Now, it does protrude slightly, and it's pretty far out on the blade back here, so if you are going through cardboard and you start way back here, you may kind of find yourself catching every once in a while in that. Not a huge deal, because I usually catch my cardboard, and as you guys saw in this video right here, and I didn't get bound up, but I just noticed that, you know, if you were to go really far back here with cardboard or something that's really tall and narrow, and you're trying to cut it, you may catch a little bit on those thumb ramps and are on the thumb studs, I guess, I don't know, and you may bind up from time to time, but it didn't seem to affect my use, but I just want to give you that little tidbit of info. All right, let's go ahead and hit the pocket clip here. Now, this is another unique feature that I haven't really ever seen on a pocket knife, and I've reviewed a ton. This is a polymer integrated pocket clip. So it's supposed to kind of act as part of the handle. Now they will each one will come with two pocket clips, one already attached for righties, and there will be another one in the package, just like most cold steels, that you can unscrew, swap, and attach on the opposite side if you wish. So if you're a lefty, totally ambidextrous with those thumb studs that we talked about earlier. Now the interesting thing again, that's polymer. You know, it's gonna slide into your pocket nicely. It worked just like any other pocket clip. The benefit to me is the ergonomics. Unlike the Efficient here, you know, it's sticking out, you feel it in your hand when you bear down on it. That's not the case with the Grik. When you're holding it and you're bearing down on it, it just feels naturally like part of the handle scale because it's just flush with the rest of the handle there. So that's really cool. It's unique. It's different in how it works, and it definitely adds a level of ergonomics that I normally don't see on most pocket knives. So I really like that feature a lot. On the ergonomic side, it's definitely got that like reptilian feel that matches the front, so you're going to get good traction. It's not going to take away from the traction at all on the design. Now it is really large, and you are going to get about a 1/4 inch sticking up the top out of your pocket. So if you're wearing tan or gray pants, no one will really notice. If you're wearing black or jeans, you're going to have this kind of weird polymer piece sticking out that may draw attention to your pocket. So you just gotta kind of weigh that, pros and cons. But again, it's different. No lanyard hole to speak of, so those of you who love rocking lanyards, you're not gonna get that option on this design. But again, I like it. It's different. It's unique in its features, and I don't have another knife like it. Ergos on this little bad boy are great, actually. I really like the ergonomics. Now what we're looking at is a 3.875 inches overall length. You have a thickness at its maximum point of 0.49, so just a hair under ½ an inch thick. And this is going to come in at 3.3 ounces, so that's very nice that we're getting a pretty beefy blade, you know, a triad locking system. We're looking at polymer, obviously, GRN, you know, glass reinforced nylon handles with no liners to speak of, which I'm totally fine with. Strength, I've never had an issue with non-linered, you know, knives having issues and failing on me, and I've used and abused a lot of knives out there. So we got this kind of diamond texturing, I guess. You know, looks a little reptilian, a little in its overall ergonomics, different cutouts, but with my large size hands, as you guys all know, fits great in the hand. I really like the ergos. It's gonna fit. My pinky's not coming off the back. Zero hot spots. All my fingers line up. The humps, though I'm not usually a fan of humps, they don't get in the way on my hand. I got a good guard right here. So, I mean, I could absolutely get a really good stab and thrust, regardless if it's a normal hammer grip or a reverse grip here. I mean, I'm totally locked into place. And just with all the edges being contoured, the pocket clip being integrated in, this gives me a level of ergonomics that I normally don't get on smaller pocket knives, even like this efficient. You know, I mean, it's good, but I mean, the pocket clip's kind of biting in, giving me a little bit of a sharp spot. The handle scales aren't quite as machined and rounded as the polymer on here. So very good, very, very good ergonomics, and coming in at under 4 ounces is awesome for how inexpensive and how powerful this knife is. So we'll hit price as well here for you. Now I paid $40 for this little guy, so this will run between 35 and 40 bucks. We'll have links in the description below over to Amazon. That's a great way to help support the channel. When you guys use those hyperlinks, it helps us buy knives just like this guy right here, so I can give you a data point, a comprehensive review, so you can decide, is the knife or product like the Grik the right product to spend your hard-earned money on. So I really appreciate it. Without you guys using those hyperlinks, this channel doesn't exist. That's where we get the majority of our money from at this point in time. And it doesn't matter, you know, if you guys want to maybe buy a TV, you want to buy dog food, clothes, if you guys use the hyperlink, it'll take you over to the product, and then you search whatever you want, we'll still get that kickback and help support the channel. And for the $35 to $40 price point, we'll use the Spyderco Efficient again. Very similar size, materials, idea, you know, both form produced, both compact EDCs. This guy's going to be $35 to $40 as well. So very comprehensive and very competitive to what else is on the market for form produced EDC knives. Well, I'm always into new and different things. I like to try stuff out. I like to experiment, and I like this experiment. You know, it's different. No, it is not the prettiest knife I've ever owned, but I do like the price point. I like the grind angles and just choices that they've done, and just some of the just differences. It's just different, and it's lightweight, and it's compact, right in my vein of EDC knives that I like to carry in its size and weight class. So if you want to try something a little bit different and you want the Cold Steel name and quality that you know that they produce and have been producing for years, then I think the Grik is going to be right up your alley, and you'll be happy with what it has to offer, just with a different twist. Otherwise, you can pass on this guy and go to something a little bit more classic and a little bit more natural in its overall design. But I like the idea, I like the just kind of new tweak and new taste that Cold Steel is trying out with this design, and we'll see if it, you know, takes off, or if this is like the only style and only design that we'll see in Cold Steel's line. As always, I want to thank you so much for coming over here today, guys, checking out the channel. Please subscribe, comment, like, share this video. Love to hear your guys' thoughts. Any questions you have, I'll answer in the comments below. And always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.